Welcome, folks. Today's learning is in honor of the neshama, of the soul, the dearly departed Chana Bat Shalom. Today is the Shloshim, her 30 days of passing. Her family is here, friends are here, and most importantly, her neshama, her soul, is here to be the recipient of the merit of the learning that we do together. Can you love and hate at the same time? How would you do that exactly? Do you love this person or do you hate this person? Seemingly they don't come together, right? And the question actually is, are you actually allowed to hate? So hate is an emotion, and can that emotion be an appropriate emotion? We learned yesterday about loving the Ahavta L'Recha Kamocha, that you should love your fellow Jew as yourself. Well, in life, we have to ask the question, why do I love myself? If I love myself because of the great qualities that I have, right? That's what, I'm a Hollywood star. So I feel valued. I love the fact that I'm, a drama queen. Literally or figuratively, either one. So guess what? You're going to love other people who are also in drama. If you love yourself because you have a great, right arm and you throw a fast, fastball in baseball, so you're going to love people who play baseball because that's what you love about yourself, right? Now, of course, what happens if you lose the capability of throwing the ball? You lose that capability. So now what? You have a midlife crisis. Why do I love myself? Right? For what value do I have that I should love myself? That becomes a huge issue. And that's why most people go through midlife crisis, because whatever they were good at, maybe not so good at anymore. Or now they find that, hey, that doesn't have such meaning as it once had. And you find that, why do I love myself? And some people don't love themselves, right? The truth is, in their hate, it's really an expression of love. They just, some people know how to give an embrace to another person to express love. Another person will kick someone in the rear, and out of love, because they don't know how to make a positive expression of that love. So they do it in a negative way. But in the end, even the negative is a love, can be an expression of love. So we're meant to love another as ourselves. Who are you? Who are you? That you love yourself. So what we learned previously is if you love yourself because of your soul, then that soul, the Jewish soul, is bound up with all other Jewish souls. And if I love myself because of my Jewish soul, so I'll love every other Jew just the same, because they have a Jewish soul just like I do. I don't have a better soul, right? Just like a father's many children loves them all equally. So likewise, our Father in heaven, where our soul comes from, is equal. There's no distinction between one child and another child, one soul and another soul, and loves them equally, right? Because they come from the same place. Now, a parent might express their love differently to a child, one this way and that way, based on what they need. But inherent in the love, it's equal. And if it's not, then it's not a good parent, right? So we have a choice to be a good parent or not. God is a good parent, period. So therefore, the love is equal for all souls. Therefore, since all souls come from the same place in the divine, therefore the love, what I love about me is my soul, then I'll love everybody else, every other Jewish soul, in the same equal manner. But if I love myself because of my physical reality, then I'll only love you only as a means to what you give to me in my life. You smile, you tell good jokes, you are nice to me, I love you. But if you're not, you don't do something for me, you don't enhance my life, I don't love you. Doesn't mean I hate you, but I don't love you because you're not enhancing my life. That's most love. Most love is self-directed. What you give me and enhance my life, that will be how much I will devote back and love you back. Huh? It's conditional love, right? Most love is conditional. The love we're talking about isn't. The love we're talking about is coming from the soul, and therefore it's unconditional. And therefore, as Jewish people, as the Alter Rebbe says, we are not figuratively brothers and sisters. We are literally, from the soul perspective, literally, we come from the same place, so we're literally brothers, right? People come to my Shabbos table and they say, "Oh, you're so nice, you're so kind, you're so, giving," and so on. I say, like, they're taking it because I'm me and you're you, and we're separate from each other. So therefore, it's so nice that you're giving to someone who's not family and not, someone, a stranger, right? I said, no, that's not how I view it. That's not how I see. I see that you are literally family, not figuratively family. You're literally, from the point of view of the soul. As a matter of fact, we're more family with a fellow Jew than you are family with your own child. Because your own child, you're family because of physical reality, right? Because of physical reality, you're family. A piece of the seed of the father, the egg of the mother, right? So it's physical. That's a limitation. Spiritual has no limitation. So we're more family from the spirit of who we are than the physical reality of who we are. Now, of course, you're still the same family with your child, right? Because of the spirit, right, of the soul, but that's even greater than the physical fact of being family. That's clear. That's a phenomenal idea when you think about it.
The family you don't choose and friends you do.
Yeah, but what the Alter Rebbe is explaining here is that the connection is deeper with a fellow Jew based on soul. Now, your child is also a fellow Jew.
It explains this,
Right.
that you have a choice of who you're friends with. You gravitate towards someone because your soul gravitates towards them, whereas someone in your family, it's physical and it might not be as much of a soul connection.
Right.
Like it explains that it's the
Right.
same thing.
Exactly.
It's legal.
Yeah, it's okay to say I love my friends. And my family, yeah, just kidding.
Yeah, but again, why do you love your friend? You love your friend because they're so nice to me. They're so I love their energy, right? I love their energy. That's not loving their soul. That's loving their energy that gives you something. That's conditional. What happens one day they wake up and they're totally whatever, and they're not nice to you? What happens? The love is gone.
Right.
That's if it's based on me, my physical reality. If it's based on my soul reality, that I'm more attuned to my soul reality, they're still a Jew. They're still my fellow Jew, and the love is still there. Right?
So what's the lesson we learned from Yaakov? Not only did he favor one of his kids because it has some sort of reflection to him, but also they're all fellow Jews, and his kid, he showed a distinction.
Excellent question. Excellent question. So, if you have a child who has special needs, right, and you have a child who doesn't have special needs, Who will you occupy yourself more with? The one with special needs, right? So that's a metaphor. I'm giving that as a metaphor. So Yaakov occupied himself more with one, not because the love is greater, even though he expressed greater love. Expression of greater love doesn't mean that the love essentially is greater.
Also, that love
Right.
was directed towards Rachel, the mother. So Yosef was only a byproduct of.
What about Benjamin?
Yeah. But didn't he get special treatment too?
Anyway, but this is the point of it, right? The point of it is the expression of it will be greater, right? But doesn't mean the love essentially is any less.
It's very tough
In any
to
less.
parse,
Well,
Rob.
no,
Huh?
it does mean
It's
that
very
the love
tough
is
to
less.
parse for the rest of the children
Yeah, it
to
is love.
see what you just said and to feel it and to understand it and to live it.
Okay.
But also, it's not accurate. The love is different because it was a direct byproduct of the love that he felt more for Rachel. So he was just Yosef was by default a recipient of
What about
the
Benjamin?
passion.
Well, yeah, and then both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them. Yeah, both of them. I mean, where the problems began was with Yosef, so therefore it's more accentuated there, the distinction, right, between
Was it
brothers.
because they were orphaned from the mother? That's why he was more loving towards them.
Anyways, the bottom line though is when we're speaking about this is essential love, inherent love, and expression of love. Again, for the metaphor purposes, and to go into Yaakov, it's an excellent question, and there's more to go into, but we'll do that maybe later. The essence of it is the same though, and the fact that it doesn't come and get across to the child, so then that's something that is a lack then perhaps in the parent, and that the child isn't feeling that. Okay, which is true. Okay, welcome to Tanya today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zich and Kadesh in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and pleasure to share with you the Tanya. We conclude today the 32nd chapter, which in Hebrew is Perek Lev. It's the heart of Tanya. And we're speaking about the heart. We're speaking about love. And that the love of a fellow Jew is because if you love yourself because you're a Jew, and that's what you're enamored with. If you're enamored because I have great qualities, so then you're going to be enamored with other people with great qualities that are similar to yours. But if you're enamored with yourself because of your soul, a Jewish soul that you have, and that's what is your true identity and your true sense of value, then guess what? Anybody else who has a Jewish soul, you'll have the same. Now, for non-Jews and so on, and we're not going to get off on that now. Non-Jew, there's a connection also, and they're also created in the image of God. And here we're talking about the peace of God that's in the Jewish soul that defines us, and that's, what defines me is not being. I don't define myself as being human, even though I'm human. I define myself as being Jewish. And that's the core of my being is Jewish. And therefore the love will be equal to any other Jew, because from the perspective of the soul of my identity, there's no distinction between one Jew and another Jew. Now the Alter Rebbe says, but we see in the Talmud, he's going to question that statement he just made. We see in the Talmud that it says that you should hate somebody who went off the path of Judaism. It says, you see a friend who's sinning, you should hate them, and you should relate that fact to their teacher, that the teacher should hate them too. How does that fit in with what we just said? So the Alter Rebbe says as follows. That's only if it's your companion, meaning someone who is a learned Jew in Torah and mitzvahs, and they now went off the path. Only then can there be any form of hate, and we'll come back to that in a moment. But anybody else who is not learned in Judaism, doesn't know Chumash and Rashi and the Talmud, and doesn't know Tanya, they're not learned. You only have one mitzvah for them. is to love them. Them is just to love them. They're like the special needs child. There's only love towards them. Only love towards them. Because they don't know anything about Judaism. So all you have to do is try to bring them closer. You have to have love towards them. The love may not bring them closer. Okay, that doesn't matter. Your job is just to love them. You have to be like Aaron, HaKayin. Aaron was Ohev Shalom, Ve'roidev Shalom. He loved peace. He ran after peace. Ohev is Abrios. He loved, the funny term, Briot, creatures. Well, why are you calling them creatures? If the only value they have is that they're creatures of God because they don't have any any personal goodness or greatness to them, you love them nonetheless. Why? Because of their soul. And you bring them close to Torah. That's what we have to do. So for those who are not raised or not learned, I'm talking about learned now, and living what they learn, right? And they don't have that, there's only one mitzvah, is to love them. Now we go back to the person who is a learned person. Says the Alter Rebbe, there's actually two mitzvahs here. You have to love them. Why? Because you still have a Jewish soul. Because of sinning, they don't lose their Jewish soul. You also have to hate them at the same time. What do you hate? Not them, their actions. Them you love, their actions you hate. And that you have to make a separation, which is a difficult thing, by the way. Because usually people's actions that are hateful ends up that you hate them. But for a fellow Jew, no. For a fellow Jew, you hate their actions, but their actions don't define them. What defines them? Their soul, their Jewish soul, and they can't lose that. When do you have the mitzvah for the two? Only someone who was a learned person, who was learned and lived it and went away from it. Then you have the two mitzvahs. But someone who didn't live it and didn't learn it, there's only one mitzvah to love them. There's only one mitzvah to love them. Huh?
There's no other context for feeling hate?
No,
No.
they have a choice, by the way. You should put on that.
Talking for ourselves. We're talking for ourselves.
Someone that hurt us, of course we're gonna hate someone that hurt us.
Not allowed to.
You're not allowed to?
Not allowed to.
So let's define hate.
Not only you can't hate, the true way is to do them good. We learned that previously in chapter 12.
Sounds Christian, sorry.
Huh?
Turn the other cheek style.
No, it's it's not Christian turning the other cheek. The turning the other cheek is in because you're going to bear their evil. This is about seeing something more in them. That there's something more in them. They have a neshama, right? They have a neshama. They have a soul. And to that is what you connect. They hurt you. They pained you. If you really believe in God, then you know that that's coming from God. And they were just an emissary. Doesn't mean they did right. That doesn't mean they did right. They have to answer for what they have done. But I'm okay. We say every night. Can I have that, please? We say every night before we go to sleep, Ribbon Shalom, Master of the universe. Anybody that vexed me, anybody that hurt me, I forgive them. Any fellow Jew that hurt me and vexed me, I forgive them. Chassidim asked the question, why do we say that? A Chassid forgave them right away. Someone is not, because I wasn't a Chassid in previous. That's why it says in this lifetime or another lifetime I wasn't a Chassid. Because if you're a Hasidic Jew and someone hurt you, you forgave them a long time ago. You didn't have to wait till you went to sleep and then forgive them. You have to wait that long? That means you're not really authentically connected to Hashem and to your soul. Because if you're authentically connected to your soul, you will be forgiving, right, to your fellow Jew immediately. Not only that, if you're really on a level, they did you gomel l'chayavim tovot. Gomel l'chayavim tovot. What does that mean? You're gomel, you do good. L'chayavim, those who are chayav to me, that did something negative to me. Tovot. You bring that, you do good to them. That's a high level. That's a high level. So someone says something nasty to you, and you are not triggered. When you're triggered, who got triggered? Your divine soul, your Jewish soul? No. Your animal soul got triggered. If you are a master of yourself, and you got that's what touched you, and that's what got triggered, you know that what got triggered, and you don't let it be triggered. But if my body is the most important thing, and therefore what animates my body is my animal soul, that's what I live with, right? I live with that. So guess what? Yes, of course I'm going to get angry and upset at you because you triggered my animal soul, and my body is the most important thing. And what is the animal soul and body? One thing, survival. And you threatened my survival because you emotionally touched me, you triggered me, you have now, as a result of that, pained me. But that's if you live with that. If you live with your neshama, with your soul, you can't trigger it. You can only inspire it. That's all you can do.
It's a very high level. What you do.
It's the truth, though.
Yeah, fine.
1 second. Is it the truth?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the truth. It's the absolute truth.
By the way, I'm reading the book Forgiveness from Rabbi Israel Bernat.
There you go. It's the truth. You're right. It's a high level. I mean, it's a high level. But first of all, we have to acknowledge the truth. And when you acknowledge the truth, then you can little by little start to grow and live with the truth. If we don't acknowledge it, and therefore we only live with our limited perspective of our physical being, which is animated by an animal soul, that animal by definition is one thing, survival. There's physical survival, and then there's emotional and psychological survival. So when you triggered me, and we all have triggers, right? We all have triggers. So, but that trigger is of the animal soul that is now struggling to survive. So some people, they're struggling to survive. Oh yeah? I'll show you a thing or two. What's that? It's only coming for survival, that I need to survive this pain that I'm going through. But if you recognize that what it is, that you don't have to be triggered.
We're also distinguishing. I distinguish that between that and someone who is absolutely dangerous. When I say dangerous, it could be,
Hamas is dangerous. 100%. Hamas is dangerous. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Let's live life for a moment. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Yeah. And when did the last time you had to deal with someone that was dangerous and you really had to worry about your life? When did it happen last year? Zippo.
That's not true.
It happened to me,
rely on
Zippo.
Security systems. We rely on the fact that.
Yeah, but that's all. But you're not living. That's all.
We go into buildings.
But you're not living. You're not living that with another person that you are now threatening your physical survival. That's not life. We have to be aware of that. But that's not what I live. I don't live that. I don't live looking behind my back every moment that someone's coming, a Hamasnik is coming to try to kill me. We don't live that. So that's not my life. Is that something I need to be aware of? Yes, but that's not where I live life. I live life with my family, with my friends. Then someone in the family said something to me that was hurtful. A friend said to me something that was painful. That's where you live. Are you going to be triggered by that? Will be depending on how you look at yourself. If I look at myself, that my reality is my physical reality, right? My qualities, my human qualities is my reality, and that's me. That's who you. So you're going to be triggered, and you're living with your instinctive nature of being an animal, right? Which is 99.99% of people do that. I do that too. We all do that. But I'm aware of that. And because I'm aware of that, I don't let it go so far. I may feel the pain in the moment. I could take a deep breath and choose. That's where choice comes in. That's why most people don't have choice in life, by the way. We abdicate choice. We abdicate choice because we live with the instinctual nature that we are, the animal instinct in us, survival. Again, survival doesn't mean Hamas coming after me. That's Zippo in my life. Zippo. Right? In my life. Is it happen? Yes. Do I need to be aware of it and have security? Yes. But that's not where I live. I live with normal people. Yeah, some might be, a narcissist, but they're not killing me unless I let them. Unless I let them, right? Unless emotionally I let them get to me. But that's a trigger. I own my trigger. How do I own it? Recognizing where it's coming from and not letting it to play. Imagine you get free playtime in your head. Oh, how could he do that to me? How could he say that to me? What a rotten that. You're giving free playtime in your head to this, free rent in your head. That's like pretty ignorant. That's pretty living simplistic life, which again, 99.9% of the people in the world do, except for everybody who comes here to learn Tanya with us, right? Those who come learn Tanya, those are, the 50 or so people that are now learning with us live, and many more that learn throughout the day. Because they learn this every day, they live a different kind of life. We choose to live a different kind of life. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
That's called Avodas Hashem. That's called serving God.
Oh.
That's called serving God. Why? Because you're serving the God piece in you. You're attuned to the godliness in you, right? And which is attuned to a way Hashem says that we should serve Him.
So you control your hate. You don't let it control you.
Right. And you control your love, because the love is coming not from a neediness for my survival, right? I need the love. All you need is love. That's neediness. That's self-directed. That's to make me feel good. This love will make you do good, not based on I need to feel good. Why do I need to feel good? You know why? Because Western culture is, you know who you are? You're broken. You're a broken person. I need the love to make me feel whole. But if you know you're whole, complete, and worthy, not because you did something, because you are something. You got a divine soul. So you're whole, complete, and worthy. So then why do you need to do anything? Because now I need to share and to be authentic with who I am. I'm sharing me in an authentic way, right? Not because I need your love, right? I want your love because I want to give my love to another. Not because it's going to make me whole. I'm whole because that's the way Hashem made me. But I have to choose to see that in me rather than my animal instinct and my body is broken. That's a brokenness that we come from, right? And if we just focus in on filling and making whole my brokenness, then I love you. You know why? Because you make me feel more whole. That's a problem. Because the day you won't, you're gone. And that's why there's over 50% divorce rate. Because you don't make me feel whole anymore.
I completely disagree. You're conflating love and chemistry. Love that you could feel with children, teachers, love as a platonic, compassion. Also, the meters of the sphere don't say love; they say compassion. The concept of feeling it for someone else, like caring. And
Caring is an
conflating that
expression of love.
with romantic, non-platonic chemistry, which is a different sensation. It's a different sensation. and it's a valuable sensation, and it's valid. Hashem created it, and to say that it's not valid is.
Anyway, that's a different discussion. You'll have to come back for another class for that.
Okay.
You'll have to come back for.
It's
Say,
kind
I
of
say
a
you'll
class
have.
was
I say
asking
you'll
for.
have to come back for another class on that. That's a. That's a.
No, if you want to join the class, branch in.
So I'm saying that's a good question. It's a valid question, but that will be another class you'll have to come back to. Yes,
I want to add something.
please.
First of all, it's like two people are talking, and one person says to the other, la, 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 la. I said, why you make me mad? So I say, I didn't make you mad. You decided to be mad.
Right. Exactly.
And another thing, you said Perek Lamed Bet, which is Lev.
Lev.
So the Torah starts with the letter Bet and ends with
Lamed,
Lamed, which is Lev.
Lev.
inside.
Exactly. Yeah. Very good. All right, folks. Thank you very much.
יישר כוח, Rabbi.
Thank you. Rambam coming up. Thank you.
Good Shabbos, everybody.
Yeah, Shabbat Shalom.